Congressman, let me ask you a couple of personal questions because we've only got probably another maybe 7 or 8 minutes here. Um, excuse me. You're the only openly gay Republican member of the House. In a party which has really been, one could say, at least in its public personas, hostile to the rights of gays and lesbians in this country. And you've gone ahead and defended anti-discrimination legislation. You've supported hate crimes legislation. How difficult was this for you inside your own party?
Well, this answer may surprise you a little bit, but it really hasn't been much of an issue. I mean, it's almost like there's a disconnect of members on that kind of thing. I have never had a member say anything negative about me. I guess they wouldn't to my face, but say anything negative about me. I became a cardinal, that is a chairman of a subcommittee, immediately after coming out as a gay person in the next January. After that, just 5 months later. And no, that was never raised as an issue that somehow we shouldn't make Jim Kolbe a cardinal and chairman of an appropriations subcommittee. So that was never raised. I've never had anybody on any legislation or any leadership thing ever raise this. Where it clearly was an issue was 2 years earlier, before I was out, I ran for policy committee chairman. And I didn't get that, but it was the abortion issue. The abortion issue is the litmus test in the Republican Party. If you're pro-life, you're not going to rise to the top ranks. We've had Deborah Price as conference chairman, but they'll allow one as kind of and this may change too, but they allow one, but they don't allow others to. That's been the litmus test. I've never found it to be a problem. Do I find it painful to hear some of my colleagues say the things they do on the floor? Yes, they do. I do find that painful.
Did you ever take it personally, though, because there was such a strident effort to have a constitutional ban on gay marriage, and there was an effort to roll back the anti-discrimination laws? Did you feel that personally?
Sure. Yeah, I do feel that kind of thing. Sure, it hurts to hear people saying that kind of thing, that I shouldn't have rights that other people are able to have. Yeah, I find that hurtful. But in this business, you just have to learn to respect other people's points of view and say, you're going to disagree with them, but, tomorrow, there's that old saying in politics, you may disagree, but tomorrow there's another fight, and you may need their vote the next day around, so you better not burn those bridges there. And so you try in politics not to burn too many bridges.
Just a couple of wrap-up questions for you, looking back on your career. What would you say is the legislative accomplishment that you feel most proud of?
I would say it is NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement. I think it's had the hugest and longest term. I'm not the sole author by any means of that. I was just one of the chief proponents and was backing it before anybody else. I was introduced a resolution calling for one before anybody else even thought about such a thing. So in that sense, I was out front on that issue, but certainly others get more of the pats on the back for the passage of it. But I would say that's certainly one of the things I'm most proud of. The other two would be, as chairman of foreign operations, what we've done in creating what I think is a really new, and I'm very excited about it, way of delivering foreign assistance. That's the Millennium Challenge Corporation, and what we've done on internationally on HIV/AIDS. I think it's made a huge difference. By the end of this year, we'll have more than 1 million people receiving antiretroviral drugs around the world. There were 25,000 3 years ago receiving ARVs, of more than 1 million people. We're almost doubling it each year. Price is not the issue that it was once, and we're getting those drugs out there. We're saving lives. There's there's hope in a place in Africa where there never was hope before, and I think that makes a huge difference in many of these countries in terms of changing their attitude and making them realize that life goes on, is still going to go on. They are able to live with this.
Did you wish and did you push to have us get more involved in Darfur, speaking of Africa?
Yes, and I'm sadly disappointed that we have not been able to do more. I feel it very personally, because I think many of us in Congress feel that I think the response in 1994 to Rwanda, we didn't respond when we should have. responded. We should have been more forceful. And I think the administration then and Congress didn't do what they should have done in 1994. So I'm very conscious of that. And I think a lot of members of Congress are. And it's why you see these, not only these ads, but you hear these statements being made, never again must we let this happen. And yet, we're constrained by the fact that it's a little different from Rwanda in the sense that you have a functioning government in Khartoum that has hobbled us at every step of the way in our trying to deliver the assistance and trying to get the African Union or United Nations forces in there to prevent this terrible genocide from occurring. I've made 2 trips to Sudan, and it just breaks your heart to see what people are going through there and the horrors that people are living with, particularly women who are being abused, attacked, raped. It's horrifying what's happening.
And you must feel helpless.
And you feel helpless. You do what you can. We appropriate the money. We beg. We try to do this, but the government, unfortunately, in Khartoum still has the ability as a functioning sovereign government to block us in doing most of what we've been trying to accomplish there.
So leaving Congress, what is it you think you're going to miss the most?
Well, you know what I'm going to miss the most? Just Saturday and Sunday night was the Kennedy Center Honors. I've been a trustee of the Kennedy Center, congressional trustee of the Kennedy Center, and that is really a wonderful program to get to go to the Kennedy Center Honors. That's really a terrific performance. By the way, it'll be on the 26th of December here. I'll be shown on CBS. It's really worth seeing here. I think somebody else had a question back there, but let me just say what I seriously will miss. I think what I'll miss most is when you're in Congress, all the information comes to you. It's pouring in on you. You have all this access to this information. You can do with it as you choose, sorting it out as the way you want. When you're not in Congress, you have to go and find that information. You have to get it. Most of it is available to you. You know, most of the classified stuff that Congress gets, most of it isn't worthwhile, believe me. Most of you read in the New York Times anyhow there. But it's just that you have to go seek the information in a different way. And I guess that's what I'm going to miss, is that not having the access to the information you have and not being at the center of where decisions are being made every day.
And finally, if you could write this yourself, what would you like history to say about you and your
God, I'm
service?
supposed to write my epitaph? I'm retiring from Congress. I'm not retiring from life
This
yet.
is only your professional epitaph.
You know, I guess it would like it to say something that he was a good person who cared and who made a difference and brought sides together, people together.
Excellent. It's a very good epitaph. We can all get, I hope we all have something like that. Well, thank you so much, Congressman. This has been absolutely terrific.
Well, Linda,
And
this has been great fun.
your questions have been
Yeah,
great.
the questions have been terrific.
Yeah, this
audience,
is a stellar group here. So thank you very much, and
Thank you.
we'll want to share this with all the scholars and researchers who want to look at what you had to say, and yeah, look out. Lots of questions to follow.
Great.
So thank all of you very
you.
much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was great.
That's good.